Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I am Uzma Jafri. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Wednesday, the 5th of September. Rescue operations continue after bridge collapse in India's Kolkata city. US Secretary of State meets Pakistani leadership in Islamabad to reset ties. And India remembers Saint Teresa on her 21st death anniversary. And now for all the details. Rescue workers searched through rubble checking for other casualties on Wednesday at the site of a major bridge collapse in India's eastern Kolkata city. At least one person was killed and over a dozen injured in the incident, which happened on Tuesday afternoon.
Rescue workers sifted through the debris, checking for other casualties on Wednesday at the site of a major bridge collapse in India's eastern Kolkata city, which killed one person and injured several on Tuesday. The 40-year-old Majirhat Bridge in South Kolkata gave way suddenly on Tuesday afternoon, sending at least 10 vehicles, including a minibus, crashing into the rubble below. One man died from head injuries in the collapse and over a dozen were taken to hospital, some in critical condition. Rescuers at the site were using cranes to remove the rubble, including large pieces of concrete from the site. Excavators were also pressed into service to speed up the rescue operations.
একটাই হয়েছে এখন পর্যন্ত একটাই আমরা পেয়েছি তারপরে এখানে দুজন নিখোঁজ আছে ওটাই চেষ্টা যদি ভিতরে হতে পারে তো আমরা চেষ্টা করছি যদি বের করতে পারি
There were no more immediate details of the cause of the collapse. West Bengal's Chief Minister said the police is investigating the matter and assured a detailed probe will be conducted. In March 2016, another bridge which collapsed in Kolkata city killed more than 24 people.
In news from Pakistan, Dr. Arif Alvi, one of the founding members of the ruling Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf party, was elected as the 13th president of Pakistan on Tuesday. The 69-year-old former dentist will replace President Mamnoon Hussain, who completes his 5-year term on September 9.
Dr. Arif Alvi, a close ally of Prime Minister Imran Khan and one of the founding members of the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf party, was elected as the 13th president of Pakistan on Tuesday. Alvi contested against joint opposition candidate Jamaat Ulema-e-Islam Fazl chief Maulana Fazlur Rahman and Pakistan People's Party candidate Edzaz Ehsan. The president in Pakistan is elected through a secret ballot by an electoral college comprising members of Senate, National Assembly and 4 provincial assemblies. Alvi received 353 electoral votes, Fazlur Rahman 185, Edzaz Ehsan 124 votes in the polling held on Tuesday. The 69-year-old former dentist will replace President Mamnoon Hussain, who completes his 5-year term on September 9th. Tuesday's election came 2 weeks after Imran Khan, a former cricket star and long-time politician, was elected Prime Minister. His Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf party won the most seats in July's national elections and joined the independents to form a government.
More on news from Pakistan. US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo on Wednesday met Pakistan's new Prime Minister Imran Khan in Islamabad against a backdrop of tense ties. He also held talks with Pakistan's Foreign Minister and discussed regional and international issues of mutual interest.
US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo landed in Pakistan on Wednesday for a brief visit on his whistle-stop tour of the region. With the war in Afghanistan and issues of Islamist militants once again set to dominate discussions with Pakistan. Pompeo began his visit by holding talks with Pakistan's Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi. The two sides discussed bilateral, regional and international issues concerning them. Qureshi also underscored the need to reset bilateral ties on the basis of mutual trust and respect, Pakistan's foreign ministry said. Pompeo was also expected to meet Pakistan's new Prime Minister Imran Khan against a backdrop of tense ties and US military aid cuts over Islamabad's alleged reluctance to crack down on militants. Relations between the uneasy allies United States and Pakistan have frayed in recent years, with Washington accusing Islamabad of sheltering militants who stage attacks in Afghanistan. Pakistan denies doing so.
Moving on. Life is an everyday struggle for people in Pakistan-administered Kashmir, and people have to hit streets to demand even their basic rights. Recently, locals in Muzaffarabad city held a protest against the government over poor conditions of roads in the illegally occupied region.
An anti-Pakistan protest was held recently by locals in Muzaffarabad city of Pakistan-administered Kashmir over bad condition of roads in the illegally occupied region. Locals complained that the government, despite being aware that the roads have been damaged due to landslides, have not initiated any steps for their reconstruction. They also highlighted the problems they are forced to face due to lack of proper roads.
ये मसला एक या दो दिन का मसला नहीं है जनाबे वाला, ये गुज़श्ता 13 साल का मसला है। गुज़श्ता 13 साल से हमारी माएं बहनें, हमारे बूढ़े, हमारे बुजुर्ग इंतहाई मुश्किल के साथ हम अपने बुजुर्गों को अपने कंधों के ऊपर उठाकर बाजार की तरफ, अस्पतालों की तरफ लाते हैं।
ये जो एहतजाज हम कर रहे हैं ये इस वजह से क्योंकि मदकमैया वाली रोड जो है वो ज़लज़ले में डैमेज हो गई थी और वो आज तक रिपेयर नहीं की गई, जिसकी वजह से बहुत शदीद मुश्किलात के सामने है और हमारा यही मुतालबा है कि फिर फ़ौरन उसे बहाल किया जाए। अगर एकदम से वो बहाल नहीं हो सकती तब उसका हमें कोई सेकंड रास्ता दिया जाए।
The lives of people in the illegally occupied region are full of miseries as Islamabad doesn't pay any heed to their requests. Pakistan, which illegally annexed the region 6 decades ago, continues to deny basic amenities to the people.
In news from Afghanistan, Chief Executive of National Coalition Party of Afghanistan, Ahmad Zia Massoud, on Tuesday called for an interim government in order to determine a fair and free election. According to election watchdogs, the upcoming elections slated to be held in October face challenges like electoral fraud and security threats.
Ahmad Zia Massoud, the Chief Executive of National Coalition Party of Afghanistan, on Tuesday said that an interim government needs to be established in the country in order to prevent fraudulent elections. He claimed that it is the only way of determining fair and free parliamentary and district council polls slated to be held on October 20th. Meanwhile, according to the office of the Chief Executive Officer Abdullah, holding elections is the only option where people can demonstrate their democratic rights.
یک حکومتی که قدرت کنترل یک کشور نداره، خوب است یک پرنسیپ است که یک اجماع ملی به وجود بیاید، درست؟ ما چی کار داریم؟ یک رئیس جمهور موقت، همراه 25 تا وزیر، همراه چند تا رئیس، دیگه کل ساختارها در جایش باقی میمونه.
امیدوار هستیم که قناعت تمامی طرف‌ها در راستای برگزاری انتخابات فراهم شود، چون ما به جز برگزاری انتخابات هیچ راه بدیل نداریم.
According to the Election Commission, more than 9 million people have registered to vote in the upcoming parliamentary and district council elections. On Monday, election watchdogs and observers claim that the country's upcoming elections are facing serious challenges, citing electoral fraud and security threats.
Moving on to news from Nepal. Nepal's Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has denied plan of joint military exercise between BIMSTEC nations. Oli clarified in the parliament on Tuesday that no military pact was discussed or agreed upon during the recent BIMSTEC summit held in Nepal.
Nepal's Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli on Tuesday clarified that no military pact was discussed and agreed over the recent BIMSTEC summit held in the nation. While briefing the parliament about the 4th BIMSTEC summit held last week, Oli assured that Nepal would not be a part of any military pact with other countries. Oli responded to the concerns expressed by the opposition, which, referring to the declaration of the summit, questioned the motive of any military exercise among the BIMSTEC nation.
अचम्म चाहिँ के भने यो सैन्य अभ्यास कहाँबाट आयो? सैन्य अभ्यास कसको सैन्य अभ्यास? हामी विभिन्न देशहरूका बीचमा ट्रेनिङका प्रोग्रामहरू अहिलेदेखि नभइन उहिलेदेखि म त मन्त्री भइसक्या मान्यजीहरूले पनि कुरो गरेको देख्दा पो छक्क लाग्छ।
The fourth BIMSTEC summit, which was held from August 30th to 31st in Nepal's capital Kathmandu, focused on minimizing climate change effects, poverty and improving connectivity between the member nations. The grouping was formed in 1997 and it brings together Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Myanmar, Nepal, Sri Lanka and Thailand.
School students across India on Wednesday celebrated Teachers' Day with great enthusiasm. The day dedicated to teachers has been celebrated every year in India since 1962 to mark the birth anniversary of the country's second president, Dr. S. Radhakrishnan, who was a staunch believer of education and a teacher himself.
School students across India on Wednesday celebrated Teachers' Day, a day dedicated to teachers and their contribution to the society with great enthusiasm. In India's northern Amritsar city, students honoured their teachers with flowers and aarti, a Hindu religious ritual of worship on the occasion. On the occasion, teachers and students report to school as usual, but the usual activities and classes are replaced by activities of celebration, thanks and remembrance.
आज हमारे स्कूल में 5 सितंबर था, इसलिए शिक्षक दिवस मनाया गया। तो आज मुझे बहुत खुशी है, हमारे मिस्टर रितु मैम इन्होंने बहुत ही अच्छे तरीके से हमारा दिन बना दिया आज का। हमें बहुत मज़ा आया अपने टीचरों की, अपने शिक्षकों की आरती उतार कर, इनसे हमें अनगिनत आशीर्वाद मिले। आज बच्चों में बड़े उत्साह से टीचर डे मनाया गया, बट ये एक दिन का कार्यक्रम नहीं होना चाहिए। सारा साल टीचर्स और शिष्य का जो पवित्र रिश्ता है उसको पाक ही रहने देना चाहिए।
Teachers' Day has been celebrated in India since 1962 to mark the birth anniversary of the country's second president, Dr. S. Radhakrishnan, a staunch believer of education and a teacher himself. Meanwhile, in India's northern Chandigarh city, the day was celebrated by facilitating teachers for their contribution in the field of education. The teachers were awarded by Satyadev Narayan Arya, the governor of northern Haryana province.
Saint Teresa was remembered on her 21st death anniversary on Wednesday by the Missionaries of Charity, the global order nuns founded by her in India's Kolkata city. The Nobel Peace Laureate has always been known for her extraordinary work among poor, orphans and the sick.
On her 21st death anniversary, Saint Teresa was remembered on Wednesday by Missionaries of Charity in Kolkata city of India's West Bengal province, the global order of nuns founded by the Nobel Peace Laureate. In order to pay their respects, priests and nuns offered prayers and sang hymns, as many devotees also turned up on the occasion. Saint Teresa was one of the most influential women in the Church's 2000-year history, known for her work amongst the poorest of the poor. She was canonized by the Roman Catholic Church 19 years after her death. However, she is still addressed as Mother Teresa by her followers.
Mother always remains in the hearts of all, especially canonization. After canonization, not only is she known all over the world, but in a much more dear way. And we remember her as a great gift, as I said, from God to humanity. And in turn, her inspiration is that we become gift to one another in humble service.
Saint Teresa's love for children, orphans and lepers got her iconic status both within India and across the world. People flocked to see her and seek her blessings. She was popularly known as the Saint of the Gutter for her extraordinary love and dedication to the poor, the homeless and the diseased. She died on September 5th, 1997 at the age of 87.
Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now our viewers can watch the show on southasianewsline.com. You can also visit us on facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.